Karen's audacity reached an unthinkable level when she demanded that my wife give up our newborn, assuming that her HOA authority, entitlement, and boldness allowed her to dictate the lives of others. She believed that aggression, manipulation, and intimidation could bend reality to her will. What she did not anticipate was that I am a Navy SEAL, trained for high-stakes situations, and fully prepared to protect my family at any cost, turning her audacious demand into a catastrophic miscalculation. It began on a sunny afternoon when my wife and I were enjoying quiet time with our newborn in our home. Karen, driven by entitlement and audacity, burst onto our property, carrying a sense of imagined authority and self-importance. Her boldness was fueled by previous successes in intimidating neighbors and her belief that she could enforce her personal whims with no consequences. Karen demanded, with shrill insistence, that my wife hand over the newborn for safety reasons, claiming that the HOA had authority over family matters within the community. Her audacious behavior assumed that fear, aggression, and fabricated authority would compel compliance. What she did not know was that I was fully trained, alert, and prepared for her reckless intrusion. I calmly documented the situation with video cameras and recordings, capturing Karen's audacious demands, her aggressive posture, and her attempt to manipulate reality. Her boldness, intended to intimidate, immediately became evidence of reckless overreach and potential criminal activity. Every word, every gesture, and every threat was recorded in real time. When Karen stepped closer, attempting to snatch the baby, I stepped forward with calm authority. My presence, trained reflexes, and preparedness immediately changed the dynamic. Karen's audacity, once effective against less prepared individuals, faltered under the reality of a highly trained Navy SEAL defending his family. I instructed her to leave immediately, clearly stating the legal consequences of attempting to take a child unlawfully. Her audacious plan, based entirely on intimidation and perceived authority, collided with preparation, training, and lawful defense. Karen's boldness quickly gave way to panic as she realized that her actions had placed her in direct conflict with legal and physical authority. I contacted law enforcement while maintaining a secure perimeter around my family. Officers arrived promptly, reviewing video evidence, witness statements, and Karen's aggressive behavior. Her audacity, meant to manipulate and intimidate, had transformed into undeniable proof of harassment, child endangerment, and attempted abduction. Karen attempted to argue her case, claiming moral authority and HOA rules, but the audacity of her arguments collapsed under scrutiny. The officers confirmed that she had no legal right to demand custody, enter the property, or intimidate the family. Every movement, every threat, and every audacious act she had attempted was documented for immediate legal action. Neighbors, previously intimidated by Karen's boldness, observed the situation and the dramatic collapse of her plan. The audacity she had relied upon to dominate and manipulate had become the very evidence of her recklessness and overreach. Cedar Pines residents saw firsthand the consequences of audacity misapplied against preparedness, law, and authority. By mid-afternoon, Karen was formally arrested for harassment, attempted abduction, and trespassing. Her audacious plan to assert authority over a family had failed spectacularly, resulting in immediate legal consequences, public humiliation, and long-lasting reputational damage. Every action she had taken, from threats to attempted aggression, was documented and presented in the official report. Reflecting on the incident, the lesson was unmistakable. Audacity, when misapplied against law, authority, or trained defenders, collapses spectacularly. Karen had assumed that boldness, aggression, and perceived authority could manipulate reality, but her reckless overreach resulted in exposure, accountability, and public disgrace. By evening, my family was safe, the newborn secure, and Karen's audacious intrusion had been fully documented for prosecution. Cedar Pines residents absorbed a vivid lesson. Boldness untempered by legality, preparation, and moral awareness collapses under consequence and accountability. Karen's bold attempt, intended to intimidate, manipulate, and assert control over another family, had failed completely. Her audacity, once feared, had become the instrument of her downfall, teaching a clear and enduring lesson in the limits of reckless entitlement, aggression, and overreach. Her reckless behavior guaranteed exposure, legal accountability, and lasting public disgrace.